Irving Pond, and we're ice fishing for rainbow trout. And look what we found. Yes, sir, the rainbow. They're just starting to bite down here, but it's a little frigid down here. It's like 15 degrees out. But there they are. There's the rainbow trout. Yes, sir. There's a nice girl I caught. And they're traveling around today on the ice, underneath the ice. It's really dark down that hole. We're going to have to hook you up, and we're going to have to get a show started. I got the first one. Yes, sir. There we go. I think this is like episode 62 or 63. It's episode 63. Let's go out and get some rainbow trout action. Yes, sir. It's really dark down that hole, so I'm using like a green jig with a piece of orange beaver tail on the end. And yeah, we're going to see if we get on these trout again today. It's rainbow time. Let's tighten you guys up here so my phone don't fall down the hole. I finally found one. There we go. Dancing rainbow time. Yes, sir, some rainbow action. It got off the hook and it's going back down. See you later, alligator. All right. That's one. One down. That's one rainbow down. Let's find another. It was down deep. He was about 8 feet down. So we got the rainbow action going today. Yes, sir. You hear those cracks underneath my feet? That's the ice. It's pushing against each other, making cracks. It's expanding. Let's see if we find another rainbow. You know, they've just been bumping this lure and not really taking it. And 1 out of 5 might take it, so the bite might just start to be turning on. I hope it is. Oh, here's a second one. Yes, sir. Here's a second one all the way down. There's a second one. Yes, sir. There's a second one. There's a second rainbow trout. Number 2. Look at you. Yes, sir. That's number 2. Number 2 rainbow trout. He's down about 10 feet. All right, nice ones, too. They're coming in nice. Yes, sir. Let them dancing around the water. That's number 2. Look at you, number 2. And they're nice ones, too. They're about 12 inches, 13 inches. Some nice rainbow action there. Yes, sir. That's the way we do it. That's the way we do it. That's the way we do it. Yeah. There we go. That's number 2 in less than 30 seconds. Oh, it's going to be a good day today. The bite is turning on, but they're down deep. The bite is turning on. Stick around and watch Bass in the Hat do some ice fishing in Rochester, Minnesota. Go out and get some rainbow trout. I'm using a little green jig with a orange piece of beaver tail. The reason I'm going with those colors is, see how dark it is down that hole? It's extremely dark. So I got to use something they're going to see down there. Now, they're running around in schools. That's my second one I got there. Second one in less than a minute. All right, let's get this one off the hook. Her plop right back in the water. Right back in the water. All right, get this phone organized here so these aren't going in and out. I'll tell you what I'm using. I'm just using a little green jig. And that little piece of orange on the end is an actual piece of beaver tail. That looks like a maggot on the end. So let's go down about 8 to 10 feet again, and we'll see if we get a third one. Ha ha ha! Get some! Yes, sir, they're finally biting. I've been down here for about 45 minutes, and I hadn't gone live because I was in fear that I was going to get skunked again today. I got skunked yesterday. So, but I hope that's not the case. I got 2 so far. Stick around, like, subscribe. Going to be a good show today. Yes, sir. It's going to be a good day. The bite is just starting to turn on. Once that bite turns on, it could last a half hour, it could last 45 minutes. It could last, who knows, a couple days, but usually most of the time it's only like a half hour, 45 minutes, and it's turning on. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to my channel, friends. Yeah, I just got 2 rainbow trout within 30 seconds, and I think the bite's just starting to turn on. We're going to find out. How's everybody doing today? Hope everybody's doing well. I got you strapped to my chest because it's really windy out here today. And I don't want the phone blowing off the pedestal or the tripod and into the water. So I'm going to have you strapped to my chest and I can read your comments better than today, okay? Okay, let's see if we find another one down there. They're sort of like swimming in and swimming out. But they're getting serious about taking the hook and the bait now. Before, they were just bumping it with their nose. They are getting serious. Well, I got 2 so far. If I can get 3 or 5 today, it's a little chilly out here today. Yes, sir. I'd say it's about 10 degrees, maybe 12 degrees. We got a wind chill factor that's hitting us. We're about 20 degrees with wind chill factor. That drops us down to about 10 or 12. And so I can't like or subscribe. You need to do it. Push the like button. Subscribe. Comment if you will. I'm going to be on top of these trout and see how many I can pull out of this hole here. I'm the only one down here today on the pond. Nobody else is dumb or crazy enough to come out in this cold weather, I guess. Okay, let me read your comments. Oh, wow, awesome. Thank you. That's a good one. Yes, it was. Thank you very much. LOL. Okay. uh, good morning to you, Jack. Good morning, fella. Hello, mate. We got 2 trout within 30 seconds, and they were like 13-inch trout. They were nice eaters if you were going to keep. I usually catch and release, but I've been down here for about an hour, and I didn't go live because I didn't know if I was going to get any fish today or not. I hate to go live when I don't get any fish. It bothers me personally, so I held back going live till I caught something. I'd rather go live when I know the fish are biting than sit there for 2 hours on my phone, talking to my phone, and not catching anything. So there is that. I try to keep the people occupied when I... Come on, give me another bump. When they swim in, they will bump the lure, and you know they're down there. Determine that you get 2 or 3 bumps at a time, there's maybe 3 to 5 fish down there. Okay, but they're down deep. It's just very challenging to set the hook and get them out of the water at 10 feet below the ice. You got to pull the line up or pull the rod all the way above your head to set the hook. Otherwise, he gets off the hook. The hook's not set. So there's that challenge, but I'm used to it. Hope everybody's doing okay. We're in Rochester, Minnesota today, and we're at a special regulations pond that they stock rainbow trout here year-round. Year-round rainbow trout. Every 2 weeks, they put 600 to 1,000 fish in here. So come on, if you're in the state of Minnesota, come on down and get some. All you need is a fishing license and a trout stamp if you're going to keep. That's all you need. And there's no season for trout here at this special regulations pond. Compliments of the hatchery, they stock every 2 weeks. It's special regulations according to the DNR. You can fish for trout year-round here. There's no season in, no season out. They put them in, we take them out. And that's the story for here. Okay, let's see. Maybe I just did a little school swimming and I just got those 2. How far down am I? Oh, I'm far down enough. If they're down there, I'm to go a little deeper and see if they're maybe a little deeper. Hope everybody's doing well today. Where is everybody from? Hope you all can hear me properly. I do have an external microphone, but I'm a little leery of hooking that up because you're actually connected to my chest. You should be able to hear me. You're right under my chin. But I kind of like this setup too when it's windy. Because if I put yours on a tripod, the 15-mile-per-hour winds will blow you over and face plant you in the snow and the ice. And I don't want to break my phone, so I think there's still some down there. I felt something down there. They'll swim in and they'll bump that. They'll bump the lure, and then you know they're down there. We'll zoom out for you so you're not halfway down the hole there. Come on. We got 2 so far. Let's see how many we can pull out of this hole. They'll swim back in. I'm sure they will. But we got about 3 inches 2 days ago, snow. And that, on top of the ice, that makes it extremely dark down and underneath the ice in the water. No light is getting down there at all. So the fish got to be in the close proximity to see whatever you're working down there, jigging. But I'm just glad I got 2 today so far. Maybe I'll get 3 today. Maybe I'll get 5. Maybe I'll get 10. If you look at some of my older live shows, I've got 40 in one day. And I'm only talking 2.5 hours, 40. The one, it was 1.5 hour, I got 40 fish. So, the sky's almost the limit. You get a little tired after pulling up 40 fish and letting them go, I'll tell you that. This is what we're working with. We got a football, about 2 to 3 football-sized pond that used to be an ex-quarry in Rochester, Minnesota. The city turned it into a trout pond. And a hatchery down here in the southeast corner of Minnesota stocks it with rainbow trout every 2 weeks, 600 to 1,000. So eventually, none of them are always caught. So they swirl around like they do in the hatchery, and I call that the rainbow tornado. You want to get in the middle of that tornado. It's a 30, 40 fish day. But where the tornado is, it's like I said, 2, 3 football fields. So there's a lot of holes you could punch to try to find them. Some days I do 20, some days I do 30, and till I find them. And some days you're just lucky. It's your first hole. You're on top of them. So it's all a matter of luck and timing, like anything in life. And you get skunked, like I did yesterday. And I love the phrase, what a difference a day makes. You come down the next day and boom, 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 you're hitting them like crazy. Some days they feed in a frenzy, and other days they're just on the bottom, just sucking up water. Why is that? I don't know. Besides, they have a float bladder in them that dictates when it's high barometric pressure, they rise in the water column right underneath the ice. When it's low pressure, it deregulates their their air bladder, and they got to go down deep to more stable water. So that dictates whether they're going to bite or not. And then there's a time, they're not, just because the pressure's high don't mean they're going to bite all day. They'll finally wake up maybe 3, 4 hours and then start swimming around and then start feeding. They don't eat like Americans every 3 times a day. Yeah. All right, come on, enough talking. Let's get some more fish. Come on and hit me. Come on. Come on, come on, come on, come on and hit me, baby. Can't you see that I am not afraid? Jim Morrison sings the fishing blues. I'm in a good mood today. On top of 2 in 30 seconds. I hope they swim back in. Yes, sir. Hope everybody's doing fine. We've got a lot going on in the world today. And you know what? You got to give yourself time to sway away from all that bad news stuff and go out and do something nice, something good that makes you feel good. This is mine. I had to get off the internets and stop watching these wars escalate and say, you know what? I need some fishing time. I need to get out in the ice and do some fishing. Get away from this toxic freaking internet. And it can be sometimes. Nothing but bad news. People dying and everything like that. So enough of that bad juju. Let's get some good juju down there and get some fish. Yes, sir. I get a lot of people from all over the world in here. Over the United States and the world. Australia, England, um, Russia, Brazil, yeah, Florida, all over the U.S. Where are you guys from? So I can give you a shout out. I read your comments. You're strapped right to my chest, so I could just look down and read your comments. I say hello to everybody. Welcome to my channel. I'm trying to monetize this channel, and it's going okay, I guess. I'm close to 6,100 subscribers. I would like 1,000,000, but that's like asking for a rainbow. Yes, sir. That's a lot. But so if you like what you're watching, please like, subscribe, or comment. I appreciate it all. It builds up my algorithm, actually, so more people view me. Okay, let's see what the comments are. Hot Springs, Arkansas. Welcome, welcome. Hello from England, mate. Hello, hello, hello. Good day to you, mate. He took his blooming head off. Hello from North Dakota. Shout out to North Dakota. Beautiful state. Dallas, Texas. Hi, warm here. Ha ha ha. No pun intended, I guess, huh? Yeah, I drove across Texas. It took me 2 days. Big, big state. All right, geezer. Oh, there's a smart aleck. What's up? How's fishing? I got two so far in 30 seconds. Lake Superior, coho salmon running. Oh, beautiful. I love to hear good news like that. Tight lines for Upper Peninsula, Michigan. Welcome to my channel, everybody. Oh, glad you're watching me fish. I've got two in 30 seconds, and they must have swam in and swam back out. Any minute they could swim back in, but they're running deep in the water column, like about 10 feet down. I'm in about a 15 to 20 foot range right here. And you hear all those cracks underneath my feet? No, I'm not going in. I'm not going in today. I got rope here. I got an ice pick. I'm not going in. It's the ice expanding underneath my feet. That's what happens. The guy from Upper Peninsula knows when ice starts to expand, just like how earthquakes happen. The two tectonic plates push against each other, and then it creates cracks in the earth. And that's what's happening in the ice. The ice is expanding. It's so cold out here. It's like 12 degrees, mate. You got to give me a like. You got to give me a thumbs up. Give me something. All right? Subscribe, please. I'm out here in the cold weather, and I'm the only fool out here on the whole pond. Yes, a lot of people just can't take the call. Oh, there's another one all the way across there. There's another fool. He's just walking on. But, yeah, I don't know. It's about 10 degree wind gust, and it's only 20 degrees, so that brings it down with the wind chill factor to about 10 degrees, 12 degrees. And my cutoff is 10 degrees, so I could take this. Especially if the fish are biting, I could take this. Yes, sir. Let's get some. Going to try to pull up number three here once number three swims in. Yeah, but I pulled up two 12 to 13-inch ones in like 30 seconds, and I said, you know what? I should go live. So if you missed out on that, please go back after tomorrow and watch the beginning of the show, and you'll see two I pulled up in 30 seconds. And some of my shows, if you check out the live feed on my YouTube channel, check out number 39 and check out number 57. I caught 40 in an hour and a half, 40 fish, rainbow trout. And I let them all go too, mates. Yes, sir. I'm so happy I got people from all over the world coming in. That warms my soul. Okay, let's get some rainbows now without you guys falling down the hole. Yeah, I want to. I got a chest mount and I got it so tight. I'm hoping that this phone ain't gonna come off because it's only held on by a magnet. You like it when it sounds like a shack and when the ice is separating, huh? Have I ever gone through the ice? Well, let's put it this way, mate. I went through twice last year. Twice, all right? Beginning ice, early ice and late ice is the most dangerous. That's when it's forming. And anything less than 4, really, you shouldn't go on. It's just too dangerous. I like 5 myself. In the beginning of the year, it was early ice, and I'll tell you the story. I'll put it in a nutshell. There was a lady walking two Bernese mountain dogs around the pond here. Oh, we got a bite. We got a bite. Here we go. I'll get back with you with that story. We got to pay attention here. The trout must like my story. I just got another bite. Just got another bite. The trout like my story. They're going to bite. Come on back. Oop, that was it. You know, what's funny is the bite isn't ferocious. They'll come in and just nip it with just a little bit of their lips. Just nip it instead of taking the whole thing like they're hungry. And that's what they've been doing today. For all the bites I had so far today, I had about 15. I only got 2 fish because they're just playing around with it. They're not really ferociously biting it like they're hungry, starving. Okay, so back to that story. The lady was walking two Bernese mountain dogs around the pond, and I was all the way by the front of the pond, all the way over there. She was all the way over here, and her dogs chased a muskrat onto the ice, who went down one of the holes. So it was really thin ice, and that was a heavy dog. A Bernese mountain dog's like a St. Bernard's. So it went into the water and couldn't get his hind quarters off the ice. It was too slippery. So the lady, who was maybe 4.5 foot tall at the peak, she walked next to that hole, which you never do when somebody goes in through the ice. You never go near the hole because you're going to end up in there too. So she ended up and started screaming bloody murder. The water was up to her chin and her feet were like on the ground, but there was 10 feet, maybe 12 feet of ice that was separating her from the shoreline. So me being a hero like I am, I had to, and my wife don't like this part of the story. Like, why did you do that? I ran over there with a big 7 foot stick and I was going to help her get out of the water, and then I ended up in the water. And I had just got a waterproof case for my $1,200 iPhone 14 the week before, and I broke my Ray-Ban glasses, which was $400, and it's costly to be a hero, I'll tell you. So eventually we got her out with the help of two other young folks, and all three of us went in the water because of her foolish mistake. And that's the moral of that story. The second time I went in, I was jigging just like I am right now, and within a half a second, my elbows were on the ice. And that same guy was walking over to me, thought he was going to pull me out. I told him, "Don't come near the hole. I'll get out myself." So I used my arms and pushed myself up out, and then rolled away from the hole, dispensing my weight across. So I didn't go right back in. So there's intelligent ways to do it when you go in and get out. Most of the times when I went in, it was only 32 degrees. So I was a soggy walk back up to the parking lot in my car. So you take your clothes off and drive home in your long johns. But yeah, nothing really serious, where it's life threatening. But I do have $170,000 in life insurance for my wife that she required I take since I'm going ice fishing out here. And this is what I do 3 to 4 days a week. And I'll tell you what, most of the times as firemen, this is only the size of 3 football fields, so the firemen could come down and rescue you. But I do carry right here 20 yards of rope, so I don't have to go near the hole. And you also carry around your neck ice picks, and I'll show you what they are in a minute without putting my phone in the water. These things are ice picks here, and they're for, you have them around your neck, and they're only like $5, so you can pull yourself out. You go in the ice, you plug this into the ice with one hand and plug the next, and you pull yourself out like this while kicking your feet. So that's $5, and you would be surprised how many people don't carry these around their neck just in case. I mean, this little $5 safety gear can save your life, and a lot of people don't even carry it. So you got to know, rules, regulations, learn what you can about being on the ice. Otherwise, you're just shooting in the dark, and you don't know. Anything could happen, man. I was down here alone half the day today, and I want to be able to get myself out instead of relying on the firemen or somebody else. So, yes, sir. That's my safety precautions that I use. And welcome to my channel, everybody. I'm trying to monetize this channel, so please like, subscribe. I got two within 30 seconds. Sounds very cold. Yes, it is. It's like 12 degrees. We got 20 degrees out here with a 10-mile-per-hour wind, so we got like 12 degrees out here. And that's why you hear me almost shivering in my breath. So please like, subscribe. Upper Michigan knows what I'm talking about. Yes, sir. He knows ice safety, and he knows if you're from this part of the country in the upper Midwest or close to Canada border, everybody knows what I'm talking about at ice fishing, the precautions you got to take. But what's happening, these rainbow trout that they stock in here, they'll swim in, 4 or 5 of them, then swim back out. So I got two the last time. So I'm waiting for them to swim back in. I had a couple bites, but they're just nibbles. They come in and nibble sometimes and really not ferociously try to take it. So I'm going to go down deeper and see if I can find them. Then the bite's a little bit more ferocious when it's deeper. And that the water column must not be as stable as you get higher. That says to me that the low pressure is starting to come in and push them down. But I enjoy doing these live shows with you guys and interacting with you guys, and that's why I bought this chest brace so I can read your comments while we're actually doing the live show. It's a little harder to do that when you got it on a tripod and you're 15 feet away. Yeah, I don't know how long I'll go today, but maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours at the most. And it matters the bite. If they really start biting real ferociously, I got an extended battery pack I can slap on the ass end of my phone and it'll extend the show by another hour. I got two of them in my pocket actually. Not that I'll be here 4 or 5 hours. It's just a little too darn cold today, and what a difference a day makes in everything in life. Okay, it might be like 12 degrees today. Within 2 more days, it's going to go up to 50 degrees. So I'll be out here when it's 50 degrees. A lot of this snow on the lake will be melting if it's 50 degrees. Even if it's 40 degrees, it'll start melting. And but we got 14 inches of ice out here, so there's plenty of ice to be standing on. Anything like 4 inches, above 4 inches is what you should be standing on. Some younger kids get on 3 inches of ice and end up in the pool or the water, and that's not really safe. They're just too enthusiastic. They want to ice fish so early in the ice season. Early ice and late ice is the most dangerous. Late ice, you can see a lot of the signs. The snow pack on the hills will start melting, and then it'll start ebbing out the edges of the pond, and it's harder and harder to get on. So all those signs you got to watch. You have to take notice of them because if you thumb your nose to them, sooner or later you're going to end up in falling through the ice. And once you lose your cool and get scared, then you're going to defeat the purpose of you getting out. You can't get scared. You got to use your head. Once you panic, man, you're practically writing your own funeral epilogue. I don't hear many people down here in Rochester, Minnesota that die on the ice. Tell you the truth. Maybe upstate Minnesota, but not down here. They got a really good fire department that comes out and rescues you, but there's got to be somebody out there on the ice to call them. If you're the only one out there, you're going to have to rely on yourself, and I can do that. I can get myself out. I know I can. I've done it multiple times. Okay, where's these trout? Come on, bump me. I'm going to wait to see when they're going to bump me. They'll swim in, they'll bump the lure, and then they'll make a U-B and come back to try to eat it. That's when, boom, you set the hook. Okay, where's my thing? Hope everybody's doing okay today. I'm trying to monetize this channel. I ice fish like 3 to 4 times a week at this Foster Aaron Park, located in southeast Minnesota, Rochester, Minnesota, and they stock it every 2 weeks with 600 to 1,000 rainbow trout from the Lanesboro hatchery. You're northern Minnesota. A few more people die each year. It's often a lot of cars, yeah. I cannot wrap my head around driving a car on ice, but I've never done it. I've experienced somebody when I was a passenger who said, "Stop right there. I'm getting out and walking." This is what I told him. So, yeah, there's that. Some people, you gotta basically say in your mind, is a fish really worth it? Losing your car and losing your life, is a fish worth it? It's not worth it. A fish. So you got to weigh out the risk and the reward, whether it's worth it or not. In my mind, I'm a practical fisherman. It's often in warmer years, yep, where people aren't used to the thinner ice than normal. I believe you. Some people, I'll tell you what, I got a saying on ice. I got a saying, monkey see, monkey do. And I measure my ice. Every hole I drill, I measure it. On my scooper, I got a 20-inch measuring stick on my scooper over there. And on my metal scooper, I draw a measuring stick on it so I can measure the ice and know just for my own benefit. But you wouldn't believe how many people just walk out in this ice blind. Well, he's standing on it. Why can't I? It's a monkey see, monkey do effort. And a lot of people don't even ask. And when they do ask, I say to them, why don't you measure it yourself? So it's a little crazy what people will do over a fish. And like I said, I just catch and release. I've eaten so much rainbow trout over the years. I'm tired of rainbow trout. I'll go to Cub and buy salmon or steelhead and cut it up into 5, 6 ounce pieces. And it's already cleaned. It's already boneless. Spend the $5.99 and don't be so cheap, you know. But you could pull 3 out of this pond per day, and the state limit is 5 when it's in season. But there's year-round here, year-round season for rainbow trout. It looks like they might have swam back out again. Where'd they go? I was hot for like 30 seconds. I got 2, and I said, well, I got 2 in 30 seconds. So let's go live. And like I said, they're swimming in and swimming out, so they'll be back. They will be back. I figured, I feel a little guilty sometimes when I do a live show. And sometimes, no matter what, I don't care how good of a fisherman you are, you're going to get skunked. So I come down here for 2 hours, and let's say I do a show and I get skunked all day. I feel guilty. So I started, in my mindset, I started thinking, well, why don't I just do a live show after I catch my first 1 or 2? And that way, it doesn't leave people just with nothing, just with me talking. I'd rather you guys see me catching fish and not catching nothing at all. Catching a bunch of hot air from out of my lungs. Good day to everybody out there. A lot of things going on in the world. It's happy here. I'm happy in the cold and the ice. That's where I'm happy. The solitude of ice fishing. And there's only 2 people out here. There's another guy all the way over there. I don't know if you can see him. And there's me. We got the whole pond to ourselves, and it's stocked with thousands and thousands of rainbow trout. Every 2 weeks, they come here and dump in about 600 to 1,000. I pull them in and I just release them. But you can keep 3 per day if you got a fishing license and a trout stamp. Come on, we need them to swim in again. Let's go back to my other hole I was trying, and I'll show you my ice scooper that I measure the ice with. I was going to I seen about 5, 6 over here, but this is what I use also. This is a 20-inch ice scooper. When I'm scooping out the slush out of the hole, there's a ruler on the end. You stick it down in the hole and put your finger at the ice and say, okay, it's 14 inches of ice. Very important tool. Just to have peace of mind, just to know in your mind that there's enough ice for you to be standing on. All right? Very important. At least to me it is. Okay, let's go back here. Back here, I was down here, and this place, you could see the lure, because there's no snow. There was a guy yesterday ice skating all over this ice here, and they take a shovel and they make it so there's no snow and they can ice skate. So, but the light is getting a little bit through the ice here, so the truck can see it further away. My lure I put down there, that is. And over there where we just were, it's so dark they can't see it as far. So I'm going to give this a little try. If the trout are swimming around, maybe I'll get one here too. These are previous holes that I drilled. And you can see the little ice skating. They were shoveling just round circles, and he was ice skating all over. He had his hockey gear on and everything. Yes, sir. Minnesotans know how to have fun even in ice cold weather. I think ice made a mistake coming to our state. We showed them. They picked the wrong people to pick on. Minnesotans can be nice, but they can also be rough because of the elements we put up with. Come on, where's the rainbows? Let's get a rainbow. Or at least let's get a couple bites. I'm down there pretty deep. I'm about 10 feet down. About 15 feet of water here. How's everybody doing today? Where you from? Where you from? I'm in Rochester, Minnesota. We're fishing for rainbow trout at Foster Arends Park. They stock it every 2 weeks with 600 to 1,000 rainbow trout. I pull them in. No, they put them. They put them in. We take them out. But my phone was coming off right there. I don't want the phone going down the hole. I got a chest mount with a magnet mount, and I don't have no lifeline on it, so hear that ice cracking under my feet? It's expanding. You got to get used to it. If you're an ice fisherman, you get used to it. Sometimes it sounds like a shotgun. It's really loud. Hear that? Yes, sir. Yeah, we got somebody with long comments. Let's see what he got to say. Every parks on the ice since the school was on the lake. They can't charge us to park on the ice. They charge you to go to school parking? Oh boy. It's a lot cheaper than $200 parking fees. Yeah, I hear you. I'm going for rainbow trout. They stock rainbow trout in here, 600 to 1,000. And it's, about 12 degrees out right now. I'm a little brave out here, but I got through the first 30 seconds of this show. And there's days down here I get 3. There's days like yesterday I got 0. But I said, let's wait to go live. First, I want to catch the fish, then I go live. And that's what I did today. So the first 30 seconds, I pulled up 2, and there seem to be swimming in and swimming out. There's thousands of rainbow trout in here that they stocked from the Lanesboro hatchery in southeast Rochester. Every 2 weeks, they dump them in here. And nobody ever catches them all. So there's a lot of fish always in here. If you live in the state of Minnesota, I highly recommend coming down to this spot. It's called Foster Arends Park. Arends, Arends. It's a elderly couple they named the park after that lived to a ripe old age of 110 or whatever. And they put a lot of fish in here. A lot of fish. I know people that come down from the Twin Cities, which is in the middle of Minnesota, come down from the Twin Cities an hour and a half drive down here just to fish because they know it's year-round trout fishing. There's no season. There is no season here. It's year-round. So I'll be quiet for a little bit and see if the fish come in since I'm being quiet. They're real skittish this year, the ones that they put in. Each batch they put in could be different. They could put them in the first day and they could bite like crazy, and other ones just get in and hurry up, swim away. Real skittish. This year they're really kind of skittish. You drill a hole, the fish swim away. So you got to drill a hole like maybe 10, 15 feet away from your last hole and come back to the other hole, double back and do your other hole because that's where they're swimming by instead of the one you just drilled. You got to be strategically smart. That's the way I've been doing it this year. Because otherwise, once you drill that hole, they're swimming away. And I've been seeing them like 10 feet down, really deep. Where with the barometric pressure the way it is, it's not that low. They should be closer to the top. But it seems like when you try to set that hook and draw them closer to the top, they don't bite. I think their swim bladder is a little in chaos with the higher in the water column they get because of the barometric pressure. So sometimes that'll dictate how low you have to go for the rainbow trout. Pike supposedly have that same thing, a swim bladder that dictates the barometric pressure dictates if they're swimming around or if they're just sitting in one spot because the water's not stable for them to swim around and feed. Sort of like if you drink beer all night, too much beer, and then the next morning you don't want to eat anything because your stomach's trash. That's what the swim bladder is sort of like, okay? Except they're not drinking beer, they're sucking in too much water, I guess. But the stable water, when the pressure is low, pushes them down to more stable water. The higher water, they just feel dizzy or they feel something wrong. Oh, I think I had a bite. Here we go. Hut, 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 hut. Oh, I think it's just my imagination, mate. So I'll keep back in my jigging, 3 second jig. When you feel a bump, you slow it down to your jigging so you could swim back around and mount that hook and then boom, set the hook. Yes, sir. Fish on the ice. How's everybody doing today? We got South Dakota today. We got, what else do we have? We have up in Michigan. He's back. I've seen people from Brazil, people from the UK, people from Brisbane, Australia. Oi, mate. England today. Shout out to England. To my mates in England. We're fishing for rainbow trout. A stock pond in Rochester, Minnesota. It's about 12 degrees out, so my fingers are a little cold. I can't hit the like button or the thumbs up. You got to hit it. Or you got to sub. I'm almost at 6,100 subs. I only need like 20 more subs. Please help me out. I really appreciate it if you did. I want to break 6,100. Okay, where's these trout? Let's go back to my other hole. I got a couple holes over here I could try until we find them. They are traveling around a lot now. They're starting to travel. Is this one open? Yes, sir, it is. This one's going to be a little darker. We got snow over this one. Hope everybody's having a wonderful day. Nice and cozy, warm house. I'm out here in 12-degree weather, fishing for rainbow trout. Now, I'm almost on my second hour I've been out here, even though I've only been doing the show for 40 minutes, something like that. After about 2 hours in 14-degree weather, 10-degree weather, you toast. I don't care how warm your boots are rated. Mine are rated for negative 60. Your toes start to freeze a little, along with your fingers, and the snot on your mustache. So there's that. We're going to see if we find one more. If I get 3 today, that's a good day. Especially since I only got 0 yesterday. Finding 3 is a good day. I'm waiting for that stock truck to come rolling down the hill this week. And within 2 days, it's going to be 50 degrees. All this snow will be melted on top of the ice. But it's going to take week, maybe a week of 50 degrees to melt all this ice. There's 14 inches here. So that's a lot of ice. Hello, David. Welcome. Killian. Yep. We're going from rainbow trout, Killian. We got you strapped to my chest here. Sounds delicious. Yeah, Joe. It is. If you like eating rainbow trout, it is. Well, I like interacting with you guys. I got you strapped to my chest, and we're ice fishing for rainbow trout in Rochester, Minnesota. Let's see if we find another one. I had a lot of bites today, but they're just little nips. They're not really bites. They come in and nip it to see if it's a bug or see what the hell's moving around in the water column. And it's my jig, and they don't really take it ferociously, I should say. They're coming in and just nipping it, a lot of them. So if I had a fish for every one I got a nip on, boy, I'd have about 10 fish today. Some days I'm catching 20 to 40 fish down here, and that's no lie. I tell you, that's no lie, mate. You can check out my live shows, number 39 episode and number 57 episode. Yes, sir. 40 within 40 rainbow trout within an hour and a half to 2 hours. Oh, the ice is cracking under my feet again. That takes a little getting used to, especially when it's right underneath your feet. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Somebody's bouncing me around there. So I stop jigging and wait for him to come back and take that lure. Maybe jig one every 5 seconds instead of one every 3 seconds. So he can come back and take that lure. Come on, hit me. So we were talking earlier about people in Minnesota, northern Minnesota, they drive their cars on the lake. That's because the lakes are like a couple miles long up there. The more you go up into Minnesota, the lakes are vast. I mean, just acres and acres of lake. A lot, and some people put regular, just stationary ice houses on the ice, and some of that stuff. I mean, there's some big, huge fish up there in northern Minnesota, and the fishing is like fishing in Canada. But yeah, I haven't done much ice fishing. Like, I'd love to go ice fishing in Superior or someplace up in northern Michigan. I see them catch those 7, 8 pound brown trout with the hooked jaws and bubble lips, and I say, oh man, I can only dream. Every now and then here, they put their brooder stock from the hatchery in here, and those fish will be about 3 to 5 pounds, and they got the salmon colors and the hooked lips. So on my initial video, my premiere video, I should say, on my YouTube channel, if you subscribe, check that out. That's when they put in their brood stock that day. I got a 22, a 20, and an 18. And I let all of them go except for the 20 because it was so fat. It was like a 4 pound, 4.5 pound bulldog fish. It was huge. It was like a salmon. Okay. I don't know about this hole. We'll go back to another hole. I don't see any fish down there. Usually, a lot of times you can see down the hole and you watch them swim right by. That is the trout. I think we'll just work these 5, 6 holes and see if we can find them again. Because my toes are getting a little chilled. I've been standing on this ice for about an hour and a half, and my toes are getting a little frozen. So, but I implore you to go check out my live shows. And some days I'm getting 20, some days I'm getting 40, some days I'm getting skunked. But that happens with everybody with all fishing. You're part of a catfishing team, huh? Yeah, I love to fish catfish too, but I don't get those big blues like they do down in Missouri and going at the crappie next month. Okay, Jacob, good for you. Love crappie fishing. I love the taste of crappie. The sweet flesh of crappie are really good fish to have fish tacos with. Yes, sir. Crappie fishing and catfishing too. I go after everything. I go after pike, first ice. I go when this trout all during the winter here, and then in the spring when the ice melts, I go after the crappie when they're in season. And then in the summer, I chase the carp. And I love just catching carp and releasing them because of the fight, how big of a fish they are. I catch them on my 13-foot Daiwa rod, which I love. And I ordered a carp fishing reel from England, mate, off Amazon, and they shipped it to me for free. Yeah, it's a big pit fishing reel. It holds more line and has more strength to bring in those big 20, 30 pound carp. Yes, sir. Come on, where you guys at? I got maybe about another half hour left of me. It's a little cold out here today. They got a 5, 6 mile per hour wind. It's about 20 degrees out. And with the wind chill factor brings it down to 12, maybe 10. So it's a little cold out here today. But I was coming out anyway. From now on, when I do these live shows, though, I don't like getting skunked as much as you guys like watching me get skunked. I felt a little embarrassed in those shows, so I'm only going to go live after I catch a fish or two, okay? So you guys get to see me catching fish instead of wasting 2 hours and not see me catch nothing. So I'm going to start to dial in my live shows and just do it when I catch. I could always do shorts. Check out my shorts. I got like 2,500 shorts of all different fish that I catch over the years. I've caught an albino trout. I've caught brooder hatchery trout. I caught in brook trout that are 16 to 18 inches that the hatchery couldn't put back in the streams because they only do 6 to 8 inches. So they had to retire them all in the pond here that I fish. And every now and then they put big browns in here too. Those browns are 20 to 25 inches. Hello, Illinois. Welcome, welcome. Is that northern Illinois or southern? I know it ices up a little in the northern part of Illinois. It's got to up by Chicago. Um, Ohio, the same. Northern Ohio up at Cleveland, it ices up where you guys get ice. I'm going to Truman Reservoir in Missouri. I never heard of Truman, but I'm sure it's a beautiful place to fish in the state of Missouri. Southern part, okay, Illinois. So you don't really get ice, do you? Jacob, you get ice? A lot of people tune into my channel just because it's ice fishing. They don't get ice in their state. You know, I can understand that, the curiosity and stuff. And God bless the souls checking out, me ice fishing. I kind of like ice fishing, but I do a lot of open water fishing too. I am not a fair weather fisherman. I'm out there all year long fishing, and this is all I do. I don't work, so I'm out there 3 to 4 days a week sometimes fishing for rainbow trout or carp or bass or crappie or catfish. Okay, let's go back to the hole where I found two, and we'll see if they're back there yet. I got about 4 or 5 holes here. I'm working. I went live with this show after I got two in 30 seconds. I went live. I'm kind of, my mindset is from now on, I'm not just going to turn on the live. I'm going to turn on the live after I start catching. Because some days these trout just don't bite at all. I mean, they're just sucking water on the bottom and they're not even moving around. So those days when I'm jigging above their head and they're not moving, that's the day you get skunked. And that's the way that works. So at 12 degrees, my fingers are a little cold. They're getting a little frigid. My toes are turning into ice cubes. So hit that like, hit that subscribe. Warm my heart and subscribe. I'm trying to get 20 more people to subscribe so I get 6,100 people. And I'm working on 7,000, okay? So I'm going to do this 3 to 4 days a week. And after a year, I'm going to reassess whether, it's worth it for me to keep doing these live shows. But I think I will. I do enjoy interacting with all the people that I meet from all over the world in the United States that are avid fishermen that love to fish. Yes, sir. It warms my heart talking to people from all over, no matter what country, political belief or religion, or love talking to all you guys. We're out here in Minnesota, Rochester, Minnesota, ice fishing for rainbow trout. And they seem to just like swim in, boom, boom. They hit your lure, and then they swim out. We got thousands and thousands of rainbow trout in here. I catch and release personally. What I use for catfish is just night crawler. A lot of time, night crawler. Or sometimes you can go to the store and buy buffalo fish. They sell buffalo fish where you can buy walleye or perch, and they sell buffalo ribs. You could use a piece of buffalo. I mean, anything. You could catch a red horse first, and they love if you cut up a piece of red horse and put it on a 6-odd hook. Um, But you're probably going after those blues. Catfish bait, okay. Have you ever caught a red horse? And if you did, you bring a fillet knife with you and just start cutting them up, and you use them a bit as bait. Yeah, the Cub store sells. If you ever heard of Cub Supermarket, but catfish will practically eat any dead fish. So you catch a small dead fish, and if your state allows it, you like a trash fish, cut them up and put them on the hook, and they'll eat that. I mean, you can put hot dogs on there, and they'd eat that. Catfish will eat anything. But night crawlers, night crawlers. The reason I use night crawlers is it covers the whole gamut. Everything, every type of fish eats night crawlers. That's why I like to use night crawlers. But then you got to get your fingers all dirty and so forth. Or I use sucker minnows sometimes. Sucker minnows, I mean, you'll get northern, you'll get catfish. I've caught in a 12-pound drum the one time off a 6-inch sucker minnow. He took the whole 6-odd catfish hook in his belly, and I just cut the line and let him have the hook. Otherwise, I would have killed him. But a 12-pound freshwater drum is a beautiful fish to catch. What a fight that was. I'm all about the fight. I'm a sport fisherman. I don't really fish to eat. But some of those big flathead catfish or blue catfish down in Missouri and so forth are quite the fight, I bet. Okay, where'd these guys go? I know they're swimming around. I got 2 so far. Let's try the other hole. Here's actually where I got the 2, but it's really dark down this hole. And I got them down real deep, like 10, 12 feet. Yeah, we'll see if we find them. Hope everybody's doing well today. Good day, mates. Thanks for stopping in on my channel. What we got here is in Rochester, Minnesota. We have a park. It's called Foster Arends Park in Rochester, Minnesota, and they stock it with rainbow trout every 2 weeks. And there's signs in the parking lot designating this a year-round trout fishing pond. So they put them in, we take them out. And they put in 600 to 1,000 every 2 weeks. So there's a lot of fishing here. Thousands. And you can keep 3 out of here, 1 over 16. But you first have to find them. Sometimes they're really shy and skittish, and they're swimming around. Or sometimes they're just hugging the bottom, sucking water, treading water. You got to come down here the right time, the right day, and to find them. More people coming out today. It's actually getting a little colder, I think. It looks like we got about 4 people out here today. That's without ice huts, too. So you bear the elements like I do without ice huts. But it's cold enough we're making more ice. You can hear it cracking underneath my feet. It's expanding. And but 2 days from now it's going to be 50 degrees. So go figure that out. 50 degrees. Yes, sir. I'll probably be down here. Striped bass was your toughest fight. Okay. Must have been a big one. Huh, Jacob? Yeah, I grew up before catch and release. Yeah, in the old days, everybody kept everything practically, didn't they? You know, I'm kind of, if you're not going to eat it, just let it go, whether it be a carp or a rainbow trout. And I catch about 1,500 rainbow trout per year. I can't eat that much rainbow trout. I'm sorry. It just freezer burns in my freezer. So I finally came to the assumption, why don't I just buy, a slab of fish from Cub, the food store, and then I can do fish when I want without having to gut them and chop their head off. So that's the route I decided to take. But that still doesn't prevent me from fishing. So I go out sport fishing. I like catching, spending the time catching fish. I don't particularly like cleaning a lot of them. I'm good at it and I know how, but it's just the whole rigmarole of cleaning a fish. And now, if I get some crappie, I'll clean them, no problem. Something really sweet like perch, if I get some big perch, yeah, I'll clean them. It's just a rainbow trout. I've grown a little tired. It's like if you eat spaghetti as a kid 5 days a week when you were young, you're going to grow up and you're going to hate spaghetti. You got to mix it up. Yes, sir. You got to mix it up. Come on, we need these fish to swim in. Down deep enough, but I'm going to go a little deeper because I think the barometric pressure is starting to get a little lower. So I'm going to start fishing deeper. How's everybody doing today? Hope you're doing well. We got people from all over the world, England in here. We got people from Missouri, Illinois. Shout out to all you guys. Thank you for stopping by and commenting. If you will, please like or subscribe. I'm trying to break 6,100 people. I got a lot on my channel, so you could do hours and hours on my channel. How much stuff I have on my channel, check it out. Some days I'm catching 0. Some days I'm catching 20. Some days I'm catching 40. And I only don't go after the rainbow trout. I go after everything. I ice fish for northern. I ice fish for perch. I ice fish for whatever's down there. I'm going at the crappie. I'm going at the carp. I'm going at the catfish. Hope everybody's having a wonderful day. I decided this morning the news was so terrible about with all these wars starting to happen, preventable wars too. I decided I got to get off the internet and go out fishing, ice fishing. I can't stay home and read all these damn bad news about how we're going to end up killing people, and that's just horrible. So that's why I go out fishing. Get away from all the bad juju. Nobody needs bad juju in their life. Okay. Where do these rainbow trout go? I need about 5 or 6 to swim in. At the beginning of the episode, I got 2 and 30 seconds, and that's why I went live. And I decided from now on, I'm not going to go live until I really start catching. Because sometimes you catch only 2 per day. 3 is the limit. But some days, since I let them go, I get like 20 or 30 or 40. But sometimes it takes 20 or 30 holes before I find that 20, 30 fish. This is about the size of 3 football fields out here. But there's thousands and thousands of rainbow trout stocked in here. And there's no season. We do it year round. It's a special regulation pond in Rochester, Minnesota. But the temperature is dropping. My toes feel like ice cubes. So without a hut, I got limited time I could spend out here in these temperatures. But how's everybody doing today? Where are you from? No, we're down south. We don't have a smelt season. Up north by Lake Superior is when they have the smelt season. Jacob, you got a 1-pound bass. Good deal, bro. Glad to hear it. Yeah, the smelt season's up on Lake Superior. We don't get smelt down here. Or it's up Sturgeon Bay, Michigan. They're getting smelt up there in the lakes, the larger lakes, the vast lakes. But I'll tell you what, since I bought this chest mount, I usually put the phone on a tripod that I keep in my bucket over there. I got a tripod in there that I hook up my phone to, and I usually do shows. But with Rochester out here, it's 12 to 15 mile per hour winds, so it gets blown over. And so I decided to buy a chest mount that's magnetized that holds my phone on the chest. And that way I can actually interact with you guys, with your comments. And I like it that way. So I'm probably going to do more chest mounts and less tripod mounts because when I'm 15 feet away from the tripod fishing new ice holes, I can't read your comments. So, and I feel a little guilty that I'm not, responding to your comments. So I love this chest mount where I could just look right down. You're right underneath my chin. I can read your comments. We need those fish to swim in again. Come on, where are you guys at? You know, all day long they've just been nipping it, slightly nipping it, not even taking it ferociously. And then all of a sudden, boom, for like 20 minutes they started ferociously biting. So that could have been just a bite, and that's it for the day. You just never know. But they are going down deeper. I got them at like 10 to 12 feet down deep. Okay, we got an hour show that's been on so far. Been on for 66 minutes. And if you have any comments, please comment, please like, please subscribe. I'm trying to build this channel up. And I'd appreciate it. I'll take you ice fishing 2-3 days a week, I'll tell you that. And then open water, should I say. We'll go all sorts of ice fishing. We'll do the spring open water for crappie. And what I like to put on my lures, I like to use Castmasters if I use them, or I use beaver tail. This is beaver tail you can buy in the store, and it's harder to take off the hook than waxworms and mealworms. Like a trout will come up and take your waxworm right off the hook before you even know it. And this is what the packet of Digger's jig tails look like. You get about 10 pieces they come in different colors, red, purple, orange, white, and it's actual beaver tail, which is buoyant in the water. So when it's on your hook, it's always going up. And you're jigging, so it's moving always constantly. It flutters in the water like a minnow tail. And it's fluorescent. You can get this off Etsy for like $3.50, $3.60 a pack. And the best thing about it is the durability. You can catch 10 fish off one of these little pieces in here, soaked in fish oil. You can use it for 10 fish. If you buy for $5, if you buy wax worms or mealworms, you can only use them with one fish, and then you're putting another one on. So there's that comparable. That I think these are the better buy because they last longer and they don't die on you. I like them that way. They're not dying on you. You're not wasting your money. And that's my plug for today. But I truly believe it's making a difference of me catching more fish. And I think crappie and I think panfish would love it too. These little pieces of beaver tail look like a maggot on the end of your hook. Yeah, I got 2 fish. When I first started this show an hour ago, I waited till I caught 2 fish. I got 2 in 30 seconds, 2 rainbow trout. They were about 13 to 14 inch. And now I'm trying to find some more. There's thousands of them in this pond here in Rochester, Minnesota. But it is a little cold out here. It's like 12 degrees. So I don't know how long I'm going to last. Yep, I don't know how long I'm going to last out here, Magoo. I'm 70 minutes in the show. Yeah, 70 minutes, and I figured I was going to get more. I got 2 within 30 seconds. My toes are feeling like ice cubes, and my hands are really cold, so I can't hit the like button. Please subscribe. Please like. And I'll try to, only do shows when I'm catching fish. But sometimes the bite turns off. Like, I thought I was going to get more than 2 fish out of this hole because I got 2 in 30 seconds, and then all of a sudden they swam out and they disappeared on me. So I can't predict when there's going to be fish down there and when there is or isn't. All I can do is try to find them. I think we'll go maybe an hour and a half here, or maybe 2 hours at the tops. And it's getting a little too cold for me to be out here. Hope everybody's doing well today. We got people from all over the country in here. We got people from all over the world in here. England today. Brazil the other day. France, I remember. But I'll sit here and jig for 20 minutes, and then maybe 2 or 3 of them will swim in and look at my lure and try to nip it. And that's when I have to set the hook and get them. But it could take another 20 minutes for them to swim in. The bite's not ferocious today. It's very subtle. I'm just happy I got 2 today, actually, because yesterday I got skunked. It was a rough day yesterday. It's very overcast here today in Rochester, Minnesota. But usually when I do catch, like I catch 2, I don't keep them, so I got to get them back in the water within like 20 seconds. I don't keep them on the ice, and maybe I should, but I don't want to kill the fish. Since I'm not keeping them, I don't want to kill them just for the sake of killing. So I usually get them back in the water as soon as possible. Best of luck. Thank you. We'll see you later. Yeah, plus I'm getting a little hungry. I've been out here for about 2 hours. Most I'll go is another half hour. Unless the bite picks up. Its toes are getting cold. I'm getting hungry. Yes, sir. I'm going to go down a little deeper and see if they're hiding down deeper. I can come back another day. I'll tell them one of my favorite sayings is, what a difference a day makes. That's a good saying in life. You can feel down in the dumps on one day, and the next day you feel so much better. And that's the same with trout fishing or any fishing. I mean, you can have a really bad day fishing one day and come back the next day and boom, boom, they're hitting left and right. So what a difference a day makes. That's one of my favorite sayings, besides to each his own. You got to let people experience their own life and do whatever they want to do and not try to force things on people in life. Everybody's got their own life to live. Come on, I know you guys are down there deep. Hit me. Yeah, we'll do another 29 minutes of jigging, and I think my toes are going to be a little too cold. I've been standing on this ice in 12-degree weather for 2 hours. I'll go another half hour, and then I got to get off the ice. It's just too cold, and my toes are freezing. Especially since the fish seem to have turned off. But who knows? I may find an stray here. If I keep jigging for another half hour, there's going to be one that might swim in, or who knows? Maybe 5. You just never know. That's the mystery of fishing. But they're not right underneath the ice. And I've been getting all the ones I'm getting like 10 to 12 feet down. At least you may see them underneath the ice, but they're not feeding when they're underneath the ice. They're just traveling around. But I promise you, like, subscribe, or comment. Subscribe. I'll be back out here. If not tomorrow, I'll be back out here on Wednesday. It's supposed to hit like 50 degrees. I'll be back out here on the ice. All this snow is going to melt by then. That day, it will melt. It hits 50 degrees. And it'll be easier to walk around on the ice. All the ice will look like this. And hopefully, they'll be biting that day. But it's going to be a really warm day. I could do a 2 or 3 hour show. So please like, subscribe, and catch you on the rebound when the fish are really, really biting ferociously. There's days they're biting ferociously, and there's other days they're just nibbling. And they're just nibbling today, but I did get 2. Yep, I started up the show with 2 rainbow trout. I hate it when I don't catch any and I do a 2-hour show. I don't like that. And this is what we're using today. We're using this little green jig and a little piece of beaver tail on the end. Let me see if I can turn that around so you can see it. There we go. A little green jig with a little piece of beaver tail on the end that flutters in the water when I jig it. All right, let's go down there one last time. My toes are getting frozen, yes, sir. Even my boots are rated for -60. They're corkers, right? -60 they're rated for. Yeah, but you stand out in the ice for 2 hours, and I'll tell you what, it doesn't matter what the rating is. You don't have the right socks on or anything. It's now we got a lot of more people coming out on the ice, even though the temperature's dropping. Yeah, I think these trout had stopped traveling around. They're usually traveling around. Hope everybody's doing well. We're fishing in Rochester, Minnesota, at Foster Wren's Park in Rochester, Minnesota. It's the southeast part of Minnesota. Two being caught today. You got 2 the first 30 seconds, and then that's the way I started my show. Eon. Oh, Brian. Yeah. Yeah, I'll just call you human. You got 2 the first 30 seconds, and now I'm trying to find my third one. Fishing for a rainbow trout here. It's a stock pond. Every 2 weeks they stock it. There's no season. It's a special regulation pond in Rochester, Minnesota that they stock every 2 weeks. 600 to 1,000 fish. There's thousands and thousands of trout in here. It's about the size of 3 football fields, maybe 4. And we got about 5, 6 people down here today. You can keep 3 out of here, but you fish rainbow trout year round here. The hatchery compliments Lanesboro Hatchery. They put the fish in here. They stock it for us, and we highly appreciate it. So it keeps us, they stock it usually when the kids are off school, like spring break, or so it's geared towards when the kids are off, like the holidays or spring break. But sometimes, every now and then, they put the brood stock in here. They're huge fish. My premiere video on my YouTube channel, go look at the premiere video. They're stocking like 25-inch fish, three in a 28-inch net on the ice. And that video is like 4 minutes and 68 seconds. They're putting brooder stock, Lanesboro hatchery fish. Fish there laying all the eggs. They bring up the young ones and kick out the old ones. And they retire them in this pond here, right in this pond. And I got the video that day. I got the video. Go to my YouTube channel and watch it. It's fun, fun, fun. But I think, the barometric pressure is sending these fish to deeper water. That's what I think. I don't see them swimming around down there anymore. I'm starting to wonder if I'm just freezing my toes for no reason. Yep. There's like a 20, 30-foot hole all the way out here. It stretches from this part all the way out to that big tree over there, right here. And usually that's where they go to. It's a 36-foot hole that stretches from one end to the other. This used to be a quarry that they dug out and kept filling up with water, so the city just came and bought it and turned it into a fish pond that they stock the fish. Every 2 weeks they stock it, and they put them in, we take them out. I can't seem to find another rainbow in here. Go on, I need you guys to swim in. Yeah, I'll come back in 2 days when it's 50 degrees, I think. And then we'll try to find them again, huh? What do you think, people? That's what I'm using. Let's turn you guys around. All right, people, thanks you for tuning in. I appreciate it. Glad to see you guys. Hope everybody's doing well. We'll come back in a couple days, and we'll be out here again fishing when it's 50 degrees. Maybe I'll do a 2-3 hour show. Who knows? Yeah, my toes are freezing ice cold. It's only 12 degrees out here. Right? My hands are getting colder. Temperatures are dropping. So thank you, everybody, for watching, and check out my next show in a couple days. God bless you all. Don't let all that internet trash, the events of going to war and stuff, don't let all that run your head, run your gamut in your head, man. Go out and do something fun like I am. Have a good day, all right? Good day, folks. Like, subscribe, all right?